Welcome to Bodacious Estate Conversations, the podcast where we skip the polite small talk and get straight to the real story about handling a loved one's property. From unexpected challenges to the messy emotions nobody warns you about, I bring you unfiltered stories, practical advice, and clever shortcuts from people who've been there and the professionals who know the way. If you want honest answers, bold strategies, and the confidence to take control, you're in the right place. Here is your host, Kasey King.
All right. Thanks for tuning in. On today's episode of Bodacious Estate Conversations, I'm excited to chat with our guest, a pastor, dad of five, and founder of Lemonade Property Services. He helps homeowners and investors upgrade and maintain their properties. When he's not writing or playing online chess, you can find him leading Greater York Baptist Church. Let's give a warm welcome to Thomas. I am thrilled to have you on the show. Thanks for joining us, Tom.
Absolutely. I'm excited too.
Yeah. All right. So let's explore how Right Property Services, from painting and pest control to small home upgrades, can make any home shine. Keep listening till the end. He's sharing simple strategy homeowners often overlook to save time and money. All right. Well, let's dig right into it, Tom. Where did your name for your company, Lemonade, come from?
Great story. So in 2019, I was swindled out of $288,000. And yeah, and when life hands you 288,000 lemons, you make lemon property services. So that's actually how I got my name. And now I love it. I just think it's a great story. It's a reminder of our past. But it's more a reminder of the future of what you can do when bad things happen, right? So
Oh man, yeah, for sure. There's so much scams and frauds out there. It's so hard to keep everything straight. So I don't want to, dig into what that was too much and bring up old memories unless you really want to tell the story.
yeah, I was relatively naive. This is the first time anything big has ever happened outside of being still, robbed $5 from or something like that when I was in high school. But it was a friend of mine. Yeah, that's where it all happens. And he couldn't raise any money to start a business. And so I went to my friends and my network and raised $288,000. And next thing you know, the locks were changed, bank account was moved, and you get on the list. And it was just like, oh no. And I was the only local person here. And so as a result, I called up all the investors and every single one of the investors. And I have a great relationship to this day. I told them, I said, hey, I'll pay you back. And I was a pastor at the time. That's it. And they're like, no, Tom, we invested. This is investments. Things happen. Did we want it to go this way? No, but it happened. And obviously I'm shortening the story up massively. And I said to them, I said, if it's my call, I'm going to pay back. And so I started this company in 2020, February the 2nd, right before COVID. Brilliant timing. And was able to launch Lemonade Property Services. And so we are now coming up, completing here our 5th year. And I've paid back some, but the whole idea is to build this company up, and in time, this company will be able to pay back every one of those investors. And I look forward to that day. I've already got one paid off completely. And I remember that was in January of this year. I took him a big check, dropped it off, boom, exciting. So yeah.
That's awesome. What a way to start your that journey. So what does Lemonade entail? Like, how do you help homeowners and investors specifically?
Yeah. So in property care and home maintenance, whether it's your own home or your portfolio that you are trying to build for your retirement for whatever reasons you might have, one of the single greatest problems that people have is they don't know who to call and they don't know who to trust. I mean, you're literally letting somebody into your home, into the the most confidential place that you have. It's your retreat, your palace, right? You go home. That's where you kind of get away from it all. And then you sit down in your your chair and stuff, and you see your gutter, is leaking over the edge, and then you see the cabinet door broken, and the floors chipping, and the carpet's coming up, and they begin to pile up. And so one of the areas that I help is, number one, I give you the a person to call. I give you somebody who, it's basically a trust building business. We have a location. It's a storefront right across the street from Home Depot in East York. So we don't know where you live without you knowing where we live. Okay. So you literally can walk into my office, right? And say, "Hi, Tom, one of your employees," and hopefully it's a good one of your employee moments, right? Um, so I give you a person to call. Number two, there's a lot of what we call chuck in a trucks. And I started off as one, and that's great. But there are a lot of chuck in a trucks that are good, but because they're good and because they're not a corporate style business, they get full fast. And so even if you did find somebody, let's say Kasey, that you have a portfolio of homes and you found a really good painter, well, for the likelihood that that painter has of being able to keep up with you alone with your portfolio is small. And so we are offering a business model to where you can actually call Lemonade. And it doesn't matter. You can call us, you know, your friend from your networking group can call us. We do lots of work from big companies like Woda Cooper, RP Management, Winco, to property management groups like Inch and Co. or Foundation First, to private investors who have their own single portfolio, to residential homeowners. They can have their own personal property maintenance person, and that's Lemonade Property Services. So just being able to have somebody to call for a variety of issues, eventually it will be one stop shop. You can call me for any issue. Right now, we have a lot of issues that we cover, a lot of handyman services, whether it's gutter cleaning or pressure washing or even junk removal or basic carpentry like installing doors or windows, or just doing a lot of basic carpentry work around the house, fixing a door that broke, drywall repair, hanging a blind, putting in a light fixture, installing furniture, whatever it might be. We do a lot. We do basic electrical, basic plumbing, basic a lot. Okay. Even HVAC basic. There's certain things that I don't want to go into is what we don't do, because of a lot of times warranties get affected in homes, and I don't want to mess up your warranty and stuff like that. So we're very mindful of that. But just you think about it, you get your own personal maintenance man. You can rent a man, Kasey. Or maid, because we do deep cleans and whole house cleans. And you at the end of the day, it's one of those things where you can call us at all hours of the day. We answer the phone 24/7. We work within our working hours, but you can call us at any given point, and it's like it's done. It's peace of mind is what I like to say. So yes, do we offer the trades? We do. Are we good at them? We are. But more than anything, we are your partner. You can just call us. It's like, "Tom, can you go over there? Pest control, you name it. We got it. We do it." That is my aim. My aim is, you know, to be able to give you, whether you're a residential homeowner or a owner of a portfolio or a property management company. Okay. We're aiming to give you one call. We do full turnovers for property managers, for private investors. A lot of times people will, they have a variety of things, and they have to call, this person to do this and that person to do this. And then their schedule's got to line up, and then you can't move forward until this gets done and that gets done. And it gets a headache. Yeah. I mean, at convenience, you might as well say, I could name this company Convenience. Okay. So ease of mind, stress free. We are there for you. We're affordable, we're quality, we're right here, we're local for the York County population. Obviously, we have goals and desires to expand, but not illogically. I mean, the whole idea is let's serve our area here.
Boy, I love that. So if somebody could set up like annual or maybe annual like maintenance tune up, right? What would that entail?
Yeah, so we have two different types of maintenance plans. We have one for a private investor. Private investor maintenance plans, we require a snapshot to be done. That's $100. And what we do is we go into your property, we take measurements of your entire unit. Okay, so every room will have every measurement all drafted out. You will never have to wonder again, your measurements. Okay, your kitchen will be measured, your bathroom will be measured. So if you have any flooring that has to get done or any painting that has to get done, you already know all your measurements. We'll take pictures and document all of your appliances with your stove, your fridge, washer, dryer, all that good jazz. We'll take detailed measurements of your windows and door sizes for your curtains and everything else, blinds. You'll have everything in one package. Okay, once that's done, then we do maintenance twice a year. And in the spring and in the fall, for the most part, one of the greatest advantages that we offer is that we are eyes and ears on your property. So we go in and we're taking pictures of the exterior, we're taking pictures of the general or common areas within the living space or the commercial space, whatever it is. And then we're doing some very, very basic maintenance, preventative maintenance for you. We're changing the furnace filter out. We're in the spring, we're cleaning the coils in your AC. We're going to flip that on to make sure it's working before the tenant starts playing around with it. We're going to clean the drain out so that their bathtub is draining properly. We're going to pull the fridge out and vacuum the condenser so the fridge doesn't lose its coolness. We're, you know, we're going to check basic outlets to make sure everything's functioning correctly. Okay, we're going to turn the stove on. We're going to make sure all burners are working. Very basic maintenance. Okay, we're going to clean your dryer vent out once a year in the spring, and in the fall, we're going to do basically everything except for the dryer vent. We're not going to clean the dryer vent in the fall. We'll clean your gutters in the fall. And so that would be the private investor. It's all built on preventative maintenance. As a private investor, you're already paying for those things when they break. You're actually getting a better service. Being preventative, it's cheaper. It links you with us as a company. We give you great PDF reports so you can see everything, and you'll have a good eye on your property. For the residential homeowner, we take care of, we don't do as much of, we're not taking pictures of your common area because obviously you live in your common areas, right? So we're not eyes and ears for you. Okay. You're already that. But we sell basically three different plans. The first plan that we sell is our very most basic, starting at $25 a month. And that is a one-time gutter cleaning and dryer vent cleaning service. So every fall, we'll come out and we'll clean your gutters and your dryer vents on an annual basis. That is our most simplest plan. The second plan is that you incorporate that along with pest control. So you can get your quarterly pest control service that starts right around $62, $63 a month. Most people can't even get their pest control for $63 a month. So the fact that you gutter cleaning and your pest control, honestly, we're not here. Obviously, we have to make a profit. So I'm not saying that we're not here for the money. We are making a profit, but we're not here to make all of our money on a one and done mission. We're here for the life of your home and we want to maintain it. And we want you to always use Lemonade. And so we want to be most professional, most efficient, and most polite in everything that we do. And in the long run, we'll win together. Okay. So that's what it is. And then the third option is you get options one or two. So you can have with pest control or without pest control. Okay. And then you can buy a rent-a-man or rent-a-maid bundle. And basically it's an 8-hour bundle where you prepay and we incorporate that into your monthly cost. So that would be based on you. That'd be really close to, I don't know the exact number right here, but it's gonna be really close to like, I think 80, if I'm not mistaken, 80 cent dollars a month right now. And that basically gives you 8 hours to use throughout the year of free service. Free. Of prepaid service. So, but that way you're not sitting there paying minimums all day long. Like just to have someone to come out to your house to look at something very, very basic, companies are charging exuberant amounts of money. To some degree, it's justified because it cost me to send somebody out, but there'll be it'll be a 1 hour minimum, right? So you basically say, hey, I've got this. And we send out a guy, he takes care of it, or we send out a maid and they take care of it, whatever it is. We have different cost levels for the two. Not based on gender, obviously, but based on the rent-a-maid is the cleaning, and based on the rent-a-man is the trades work, stuff like that. So but yeah, so you can purchase prepaid hours. And here's the cool thing. How about this? The cool thing about our service is we do not limit it to one location. So if you use our packages, you get our discounted rates. Okay. And then you can say, hey, mom, yeah, I'll have somebody come over there to help you fix that problem. And you can actually use one of your hours on your parents' location if you really wanted to. And so long as they're within a 1 hour radius of my office here, it doesn't matter the location. So you can dispatch me. You can give me away as gifts. You can give your parents an 8-hour Rent-A-Man bundle for Christmas. And then and every time you use me, I email you your hours. So I'll just say, all right, they were there for 2.25 hours. You've got this many remaining, and then you can always reload your hours and stuff like that. So that's the concept. I want to spread the services that we offer to York County. I am very, very weary, and there's a lot of people who are very, very weary of um, contractors that have hurt the name, contractors who have hurt the image of the trades and have taken advantage of elderly people or naive people. And the whole idea is we need to come down to a standardized pricing somehow, some way. And the best way that I could possibly do something is something similar to this. Obviously, we offer full services elsewhere. So we have pest control, lawn, we have painting services you can get bids on for your home, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, that is the maintenance plans that we offer. And hey, why not? You always need somebody.
100%. Yeah. And I love the idea of giving it as a gift. A lot of my clients are older folks. And once you start getting up there in age, it's harder to maintain your home like you could have when you were a younger person. It's hard to get up on a ladder and do that stuff. So being able to give that gift of a handyman, that's just what a great service.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited about it. I know a lot of our customers are going to be introduced to it here real soon. Some of them I've soft launched it and we have about 10 already, and it's like the best kept secret in York County. As far as doing the Rent-A-Man bundles and stuff like that. So up to this time, it's just been they've been calling me and I've been going out and looking at it and then doing the work. But it's just a win-win. It's just one of those things where it's like, you know what? There's no reason for me to come out and look at it. I can come out and just do it. And 90% of the stuff that we do is like, the bathroom door is not closing, it's not latching. And it's like they just want to use the bathroom with the door latching, so it's like, no problem. I can come out there and fix it. But, I've been sending people out, taking a look at it, and I'm wasting money, and then I have to give you a price that is more than what I want to charge you, but it's costing me that much because I'm sending estimators. Problem solved. Problem solved. Yeah, and think about this. I can give that package to real estate agents. Like, Shazam. So, real estate agents could buy my bundles, and then they can dispatch me at any one of their houses that they're doing, and they can charge the customer whatever they wanna charge. So they can charge their own fee on me, but I'm working for the real estate agent. So, I mean, you could do it either way. There's 101 ways we can go about this, and I feel like it's a winner winner chicken dinner. That's what I'm saying. So,
For sure. Yeah, it's a great service. So that's maintaining the home when you're currently living there or renting it out to a tenant. What about when we're prepping it for sale? What does that look like? Like what are the most common services people bring you in for?
yeah, so junk out, trash removal, tearing carpet out, especially from the 80s, or the 70s, it's like you're like, "Mom, it's time to get rid of that carpet."
Carpet in the bathroom?
Yeah, yep, yep, cover the bathroom, yeah, so we do a lot of that, we do LVP flooring. I don't do any other flooring at this point. I tell people a lot of time, we're not a remodeling company, but we do upgrade. So, we love to upgrade your home, and we do simple upgrades, like an LVP flooring is very simple upgrade for us. We do full house, painting. We get a lot of painting requests for when people move out. Cleaning, the deep cleaning and the general cleaning is a major request that we get. I would say 50% of the time on turns, we get pest control calls because they find mice droppings, or bugs or whatnot that have kind of you get a lot of like the curb appeal things done. So, like the trimmer on the doors or garage doors at the base have, water rotted, elements to it. They want the paint, the facelift, I call it, shutters painted, front door painted, little things like that. Pressure washing the house, gutter cleaning to make sure that the house is not going to be in disrepair. So from an interior exterior point, a lot of the basics, that's kind of what we would do, um, for somebody moving out or trying to get a house ready for sale, stuff like that. A lot of.
Ah, I love that. And then do you get the opposite, side of things where people just got a house and they're, like, ready to move in or getting ready to move in, but they want it to feel like theirs before they do that? Do they call you to kind of prep it?
Yeah, we have a high-end painting division. And I started off as a residential painting company. So that's actually how I started. And I actually launched my property maintenance service based on demand in 2024. So I've never ended my residential painting. So we do high-end cabinet painting, like that's our specialty. We do high-end interior exterior painting. I mean, we've been in the most beautiful homes here in York County. And we do really good work. So we actually have a full service division for that. And yeah. So when people buy a home, hey, call me. We'll get that bedroom painted exactly how you want it. We'll upgrade your flooring in that bathroom real quick, or we'll, epoxy the garage floor, or whatnot, so that you can get your stuff moved in. And then we can sign you up on a maintenance plan, take care of your pest control, take care of your gutter cleaning on an annual basis, dryer vent cleaning. A lot of times they want to use this just for moving things like from their, pod into the house, and they don't want to, you know, maybe they'll do their own boxes, but they'll call us for, some of the basic, bigger items, stuff like that to move it. Yeah.
Yeah, you do everything.
Almost. Yeah, I can't wait because I'm going to be offering, in time, I'll be able to do lawn care and everything. Think about this, Casey. If you had the luxury of being able to afford the different services on your home, you would have to hire, True Green to come out and treat your lawn, and then a lawn care company to come out and mow your lawn because True Green doesn't do that. Then Orkin to come out and do your pest control, and then you'd have to hire your residential cleaner. You follow what I'm saying? And then you have to hire your handyman. Okay, you have 5 different people all coming. Who's got time for that? No one's got time for that. Yeah, and the people that you call, you're not, they're coming out one and dones, and, eventually you start meeting some people. At the end of the day, we wanna give you 1 company, not 5. 1 company. that you can come in and then you start getting to know your service provider. Like, you get to know who your cleaner is, and you get to know who but y at the end of the day, you have one company, one voice of contact back here, but you would have your cleaner, and you would love your cleaner. You would say, "Please send Emily back. I love Emily." Okay? You would have your cleaner, one company. Your handyman, one company. And then when you want to upgrade painting or doing a little floor, one company.
Yeah. So I do like my own projects, as far as like, rehab homes and whatnot. And I'll tell you, I have to get an average of 4 contractors in to get one quote back because so often contractors will come in, meet with me, take measurements, do all the things, and then completely ghost me and never give me a quote. It's so common. It's so common.
Yeah, that's common. Very common. Yeah, very common. Unfortunately, we hear it all the time. So we have a dedicated estimator for both painting and property maintenance. We have two estimators, and they're second to none. They're very good people, and I'm just trying to do my best to have the most responsive and courteous company. At the end of the day, there's no perfect company. So employees, things like we make mistakes. It's how we handle those. It's how we interact with you. It's how we treat. It's how we respond. And that's my lifelong mission is being able to have a a lifelong mission is to have a lifelong relationship with you so that you don't have to ever worry about lemonade. Lemonade will take care of you.
I love that. Such a great service. It's I mean, it's concierge service. You're a one-stop shop.
Yeah. I like that, concierge, yeah.
It's good. So where did you grow up?
Grew up in the Midwest, so I'm on the Indiana side, but grew up in the northwest corner of Indiana. It's a Chicago suburb. So my dad's from South Chicago. My wife's from the Illinois side, but she's a farm girl. She grew up on 2,000 acres, corn and beans. I'm a city slicker. So, I'm like, I know Chicago. In fact, my first job when I got married was driving a box truck into downtown Chicago every day. So I was out there, you know, I lived less than 45 minutes from Chicago, and the train came into Chicago to my city, Michigan City, where I grew up at. So I moved out into York County in 2013 and have made it home here, ever since. And doesn't matter how long you could be here for 50 years. If you ain't from here, you're still the new guy. So I'm still the new guy, but hey, York County's my home now.
I love that. I love that. So you are a pastor. Tell me how you got started on that path.
Yeah, so I wanted to be a pastor from a long time, for a long time. So I graduated high school and I went to Bible college. And in my sophomore year, I switched my major from missions to pastoral theology. Graduated in 2005. I'm showing my age, and 20 years. I can't believe it. I'm shaking my head. Okay, but and then that's what took me out to Pennsylvania was an opportunity. An opportunity came up in Pennsylvania where a church was looking for a youth pastor. And so I went ahead and I interviewed for it. And they prayed about it. I prayed about it. We both thought it best. And so I moved my family out here 2013. I worked at that church for 3.5 years, had a good time. They ordained me and sent me into ministry. And it was a tremendous blessing. And so we started Greater York Baptist Church, and we're in East York, actually 1 block away from where my company is, right there in East York, 2870 Eastern Boulevard. And we've been there since 2017. So 8+ years. So there we are. Yeah. So long.
Yeah. I mean, so you started your own church, you started your own business. Did you always have the entrepreneur itch?
Yeah. I think so. It's hard to like say that I've had the itch to be it as much as it's it's my natural response when something goes wrong is, well, you got to do something, you know? So when I graduated Bible college, I took 21 interviews across the nation in different places. But I just felt like the Lord was saying for me to stay put. I was young, immature, didn't really know what I was doing. I was just starting my family. And so what do you do if you are not going into your field right away? And that's what I was posed with. And so I started driving a truck. And while I was driving that truck in downtown Chicago, I did it for 9 months. I'm like, I know I'm not going to do this, but it was my income. It was just like, what am I doing? And after 9 months, I said it's time to launch. And so I launched my very first company in Indiana, and that's where I get the Rent-a-Man from. It was called Rent-a-Man, and I launched a cleaning service called Rent-a-Maid. And my wife and I both did each component. And we built that over 5 years. And then when I did the internship at my church for 3.5 years, 2010 to 2013 or so, I sold my companies and I went in full time into ministry. So after doing the ministry, I didn't know that I wanted to start a church. I had a lot of desire to start a church. There's always room for new, always. And if you see the Bible wants churches to birth churches. Like there has to be, growth and new, just like children. There's got to be a new generation coming up, all the time. So I had that. That was really my only inclination of really wanting to start anything, right? But once I moved out here and after I got swindled, I just began to think, well, that wasn't what I was intending and it wasn't what I was planning, but only one life will soon be passed. Okay. Only was done for Christ will last. And so I grabbed the concept of what I did back in Indiana and it worked there. And except this time I have bigger plans for it and more mature aspect into it. Whereas, the last time I was looking at it as more of just a job to carry me through until I go into ministry. And now I'm looking at it is this is ministry. Starting a business, as you well know, it's not for the faint of heart. It is very hard. It's very time consuming, but it's very rewarding. And I haven't been financially rewarded from it, but I'm certain that's going to come one day, right? But it is very rewarding because you get to meet people. I have a lot of customers, over 400 customers. I write a newsletter out to them, which, by the way, I'll be featuring you here hopefully this month. I'm going to be calling you after this. Um, and I'm very blessed. I've got good employees. I call them coworkers. I'm blessed. And at the end of the day, you know, I started these companies to answer your question, not out of a desire to start, but out of necessity. And once I realized that, I don't know, my path has been starting, then I start looking at the next area of my life and say, okay, well, this is a means to an end. So once this business is started, then I ask the Lord, what next? If I can start something and it can be successful, then what should it be? Because I don't want to just be successful for success sake. That doesn't make sense to me. I have to have a purpose and a calling in order to put my time and energy and money into it because it does. It's all consuming. Everything that you do takes everything that you've got. Otherwise, it's not worth doing.
For sure. And I feel like that really shows your character, right? When something like that negative experience happens to a lot of people would have shrunk from that experience, but instead you actually blossomed from it and you had faith that you were going to not only come out of it, but actually build something from going through that. So that really shows, your character and the type of person that you are. You're going to persevere. You're going to continue on.
And we only have one choice. So I look forward to it. And I think that it's a story that resonates because life is hard. as a pastor, I deal with a lot of it. We're dealing with it right now in York County. Prayers are going out constantly to the police officers that have been shot. 3 of them didn't come home. Their families are hurting. You've got other things like this in our nation. Charlie Kirk just was shot a week ago. Things are happening. And those are the, worst case scenarios, but there's a lot of homes right now where the burdens in those homes are hard, whether it's financial or relational, emotional, spiritual, and being able to see the promise that God can work good out of the bad is very, very important. And so I hope that my story resonates with people and that they can see that there is another side. There is a good side in the midst of all that went wrong. There is a good side. And if you can focus on that and look to the Lord to be your help, you will come out shining as gold. I know it. I've been able to experience it.
Yeah. Did you always have faith? Did you grow up in a religious home?
Yeah, so my dad was a gangster in Chicago, okay? So yeah, yeah, yeah. So, he grew up on the in the section called the Bush in South Chicago, and, my mom grew up in Griffith, Indiana. Both of them came from non-religious homes, and, my mom's dad died when she was 8. My dad's dad died or left the family when he was 8, so they both grew up without fathers, and, my mom got saved at a young age and and in time went to Bible college. She wanted to be a Christian school teacher. And then my dad, that's when she met my dad when she was in Bible college. And the college that she was at was ministering to the streets in Chicago. And so she met my dad there and ended up leading my dad to the Lord. And so my mom and dad established a first generation Christian home. And me and my 3 other siblings grew up in it. So I went to, Eager Beavers when I was 4 years old and, went to Awanas and went to Christian youth group and Christian school. And then when was going into Bible college, but I was not a believer. I knew all the lingo. I was an encyclopedia. I could memorize. I could do all of this. But it wasn't until I was 18 years old. And I was a freshman in Bible college, September the 13th, 2001, and 2 days after the September 11th bombings. And of course, that shook the nation, just like Charlie Kirk's passing did. And a lot of people started thinking. And that's one thing again, good out of evil, right? Something horrible happened to this nation and it caused me to think. And as an 18-year-old, I bowed my head, accepted Jesus Christ as my savior. He forgave me of my sins, gave me a new name, written down in glory. And at that point is when I switched my major from missions to pastoral theology. My life changed. And I guess you could say I grew up, but I had not accepted it. And at 18 years old, I made that decision to accept it. And I'm glad I did. And now I've got a 17-year-old and I got 5 girls. All right. So they're 17 down to 7. And I'm doing my best to have a third generational Christian home and to teach them the word of God. And I love it. I think it's amazing because the Bible is written in a paradox. And unless you understand the paradox, um, you'll have a hard time believing the Bible. Okay. And so people have to understand that there's things in it all throughout it that seem false, but they're true. Like the Bible says, give and it shall be given. That's a paradox. The Bible says the first shall be last, the last shall be first. That's a paradox, right? Humble yourself and you'll be exalted. That's a paradox, okay? Whoso loseth his life shall find it. That's a paradox. All throughout it, there are paradoxes. And I love explaining those paradoxes to a point, but they're not really easy to explain. They're not really meant to be explained. They're meant to be experienced. and you can only experience it by faith. It's no different than if I put my little child on top of a countertop, and said, jump, and they're afraid and they're afraid and they're afraid. And I can explain all day long, Daddy's going to catch you. Daddy's going to catch you. Explanations mean nothing until they take that step and they jump, and then you catch them, and then they giggle and they say, do it again. And then from that point forward, there's no doubting. They jump. In fact, they jump so hard that they almost knock you over, right? Yeah. So that's really what it is. I love teaching people the paradoxes and then helping them take that step of faith to experience the blessings of the Word of God.
I love that. Oh, this has been so much fun. So what's a great way for folks to get in touch with you if they wanted to reach out to Lemonade Property Services to get quotes or set up that maintenance plan? How would they do that?
Call Kasey. Think about it, man. This is your show. They're going to love you. Call Kasey. But no, look, 717-259-2747. Okay. 24/7. Okay. So there it is. 717-259-2747. You call that number all day long. Somebody's going to answer that phone, and they can explain anything and everything to them that will funnel its way down to the right person. Whether it's Jeff, our painting estimator, or Renee, our property maintenance estimator, or Dave, our pest control, or if they just want to say, hey, Tom, I heard you on the podcast, then you ask for Tom, right? So just chant it all down there and somebody will get a hold of you. We try to do that very, very quickly, unless I'm on a podcast or something.
I love that. All right. Well, I'm not going to hold you up any longer. One more quick question before you go. What is your territory? How far do you travel out?
So I like to say a 1 hour radius from East York. Okay. If you can convince me to go further, I will. But let's make sure that we stay as of September 18th, 2025. Okay. So my goal is within 3 years to be able to have a few more branches, a little bit around, maybe like one in Hanover or something like that, or one in the Hershey area or Lancaster area, just for the ease of accessibility. But for right now, I'm right here in East York, right across the street from Home Depot, right next to Papa John's. Oh, believe me, I know. Okay. So yeah, I'm right here, and about a 1 hour radius is really where I would like to go. But if somebody has something, give me a call. I mean, I'm normal. So at the end of the day, if you really like using me and, you're willing to be fair and negotiate certain things, give me a call.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Tom. I know our listeners are going to get so much out of this. I really appreciate you being here.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing too, I'll tell you this, is feel free to utilize my resources as well. So I work with a lot of people, and I know a lot of trades and a lot of people in those trades, and I work with high quality people. So if you know that I may not do something, call me, because I may have a very good recommendation for you, and it'll save you a lot of hassle, a lot of time. And I don't mind that.
Oh, I love referrals. That's my pride. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Well, that wraps up another episode of Bodacious Estate Conversations. Thanks for listening, and we'll be back with more great stories and tips soon. See ya.
Bye.
Bodacious Estate Conversations isn't just chatter. It's about learning, taking action, and finding solutions that actually work. If today's episode resonated, share your thoughts, subscribe, leave a review, and pass it along to someone who could use a hand. More stories, smart strategies, and practical guidance are coming in the next episode. Don't miss it.